I'm hoping nothing is in my hair. If you guys saw me doing this, it's like I see something. All right, I think that got it. So, hello, hello, hello. Yes, I am back. Did you guys miss me? Yeah, so I am back from a much, much needed break. Like I mentioned before in previous videos, I felt like I wasn't showing up as my best self, so I decided to take some time off to get myself together, and now I'm back and ready to go. And if you guys hear fans in the background, I apologize. It's starting to warm up, so I have to have my fans going. So we got 2 minutes to see who pops up, and once it gets to 6:03, we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So in the meantime, while we wait, I just want you guys to know what my new updated schedule is going to be. So I'm going to do Pick My Brain here on at Masterpieces Writing. Then the following week, I'm going to do Let It Go Wednesday on at She Writes Masterpieces. Then I'm going to take a week off. Then I'm going to come back and do Pick My Brain. Then Let It Go Wednesday. Then a week off. And if I need to take more time off in between, or even if I had something scheduled that needs to be postponed, you will be the first to know, so you guys don't have to wonder where I am and what's going on, because my main goal is to be more consistent. And in being consistent, I don't want to tire myself out. So I figured out a way to where I'm able to remain consistent as well as have breaks in between. And that's going to be the perfect segue into what we are going to talk about tonight in about 1 minute. So just going to wait a little bit more, and then we're just going to jump into everything. And I hope that you guys have been doing really well. We have, what, a 3 day weekend coming up. So if you guys have plans, let me know what they are. I don't have any big plans, just going to relax, because next week I am going to be off for the full week. Even though I'm still going to focus on writing, I'm going to take a break from editing as well as doing client calls. So I need that breather because May has been a very, very, very busy month. So I want to go into June ready to go. Hello, Wanda. So my sister popped in. So it is 6:03. She is right on time. So tonight I wanted to talk to you guys about why visibility matters for your business. And I mentioned before that remaining consistent is one of the things that I want to do, because that's always been something that I've struggled with. And going back to 2015, I mentioned this in a previous video that I didn't even want to let people know about my business. I didn't want to communicate with people. I didn't want to share any insight on what I was doing. And it really took a while for me to even be willing to get on social media and to just talk about what I was doing. Thank you. My sister says she likes my headband. And I just was at a point where I had already taken a break from social media for personal reasons, and I just did not want anything to do with it. But when I saw that my business was taking a hit because of it, because I wasn't letting people know what I was doing, how they can get in contact with me, I realized that, okay, I need to give in. So I decided to get back on social media. But even in me doing that, I still mostly use text. I was not a fan of using images or video because, one, that was extra work. And then two, I didn't want to feed into the trends that were going on at the time. I was like, look, it's not my fault that people's attention spans are getting shorter, and I'm a person who likes to read, so I'm still going to do text. However, I soon learned that it wasn't about me. It was about the people who I want to target, the people who I want to service. So I had to adapt to what my clients wanted, potential clients wanted. And that's when I decided that it's like, okay, so I'm not getting the results that I want, because I was always pretty good with getting clients and then becoming recurring clients and then referring clients. But I wasn't really able to pull in the new group of clients. After a while, I would hit this plateau. So I was like, okay, what do we need to do in order to get new people to come in? So after years of not being consistent with posting content, I used to post things the day of. I used to sit there at the computer at a certain time ready to hit the button. I did not schedule ahead. Sometimes I would even forget to post, and there was really no common theme with what I post. It was like whatever I felt like advertising that day, that's what I advertised. And the biggest mistake that I made was that I wasn't building a connection. I was just trying to make a sale because I didn't want to be one of those people who would try to, like butter people up and then hit them with the sale when at the end of the day, I can just let you know I'm interested in the sale. However, I realized that that was not the best way to go about it. And in that, I realized the reason that visibility matters is because connection matters. And as a consumer, you do not purchase from people that you don't feel connected to. You do not purchase from brands that you do not feel connected to. And I became a little bit more serious about making sure that people had something to connect to in 2019. And I signed up for this visibility challenge. And I realized that what was holding my business back was me. I was making it about me when it was not about me. It was about building connections with the people that I'm servicing, the people whose needs and wants I'm satisfying. So with that in mind, that's when I decided to start doing the YouTube videos. But I realized, like, okay, so that's still not me being visible enough, because when I first came up with the logo for Masterpieces Writing and Editing, I wanted it to be neutral. I really didn't want people to be able to determine if I was a woman, if I was black. Like, I didn't want to be put into a box. And that's another mistake, thinking that I could appeal to everyone and that I could remain anonymous. But again, people don't know exactly what they're connecting to. And I realized that it needed a change. So this is an exclusive here. You guys are going to see things change over the next few months with the brand because I want to be more purposeful with who I'm targeting. But getting back to my original idea, I didn't want to be known. I wanted to remain in the background. And most of the time, people didn't know who they were talking to, like until they sent me a message, until they sent me an email. Now, of course, people that I knew already, they knew who they were talking to, but new people didn't necessarily know. And sometimes that was a turnoff. Because who wants to talk to someone that's like, it's this anonymous person behind a computer screen? Are you even legit? So after a while of growing tired of hiding behind the brand, I decided to start putting myself at the forefront of it. So I started posting more pictures, not necessarily just on Masterpieces Writing, but also on my personal page, making sure that you can make the connection between, like, okay, so the same person who's on this page is on the other page as well. And over time, like I mentioned, I started doing YouTube, and then I realized you really need to get online. You really need to just get over yourself, get over your fears of things not going perfectly, of sounding weird, looking weird. Like, just get out there and share all this information that you have. And in this year is when I actually decided to get serious about it, even though since 2019, I have been attempting to get consistent with doing live videos. And in doing my live videos, I see that I am reaching more people. There is more engagement, even with my regular posts. And I haven't really changed that much with the type of content that I post. It's just I'm more purposeful with when I post it, at what time I post it, because I'm paying attention to what the potential clients or either my recurring clients are interacting with. And again, that's because I am building a connection with them. And I absolutely love getting comments from people, engaging with people, even if it's something simple. People just dropping emojis, like they thought enough to engage because they found something in my message that they could connect to. And I absolutely positively love that. And I am hearing my phone ring, and I'm like, why is it ringing when I had it on Do Not Disturb? But anyway, I hope that this isn't affecting the audio. But I'm gonna wait until it stops so it doesn't distract me. Okay, so getting back to the message at hand. So, the reason that visibility matters in your business is because connection matters. Now, here are some tips to help you build that connection. The first thing that you need to know is who you are talking to. You need to know who you are targeting, who needs your services, who wants your services, who are the people who may not know that they need or want your services. Who are these people? Actually take the time to think about it. Actually form a profile. Actually say, okay, so this person is a female who works in sales. She has a small business, so get really specific with who this person is so that you can know how to communicate with them. So after you figure out your audience, you have to make sure that you are sending the right message to your audience. So, okay, so we know who we're talking to, but if you're not communicating to them in a way that speaks to their wants and needs, you've missed out on that connection because, again, they're not seeing where they should connect with you. So, you have to make sure that your message is clear and that it does speak to their wants or their needs. So, as far as how you communicate with them, figure out what they engage with, what they respond to. So, on social media, there are so many different platforms, but not everyone is on them. And even people who are on them, they're not active. So, take the time to actually play around with your content and figure out where your followers are the most, what they interact with the most, even the type of post. Some people prefer videos, some people prefer graphics, infographics, a lot of people like the reels now, the shorter content. So just make sure that you take the time to figure out what people are interacting with. And the great thing about Instagram, you can go into your analytics. The same thing with Twitter, and you can actually see what type of posts get the most engagement so that you can put that into your content in the future. So, after you figure out the best way to communicate, you have to figure out when to communicate. So you have to figure out, okay, so when are these people most active online? What days of the week are they most active? And to remain consistent, you have to have a schedule. So it doesn't have to be you're posting 5 times a day at the same exact time every single day. Even if you're a person who chooses to post a couple of times a week, just be intentional with those posts and make sure that it centers around when your followers are most active and even your potential clients. Pay attention to when they're online, when they make posts. Pay attention to how many hours ago it was so that you can make note of when you need to post, because if they're posting at that time, they're likely engaging at that time and they will stumble across your post. So be sure to keep that in mind. And with remaining consistent, make sure that if you do struggle with making time to create content, appearing online, creating videos, make sure that you outsource. It is okay to get other people to help you, and I am learning that now because being a solopreneur, you are responsible for every single thing. So it is difficult to get on live, to record videos, because I haven't recorded YouTube videos in a while, because my focus has been doing the lives and creating my regular content. And my email list, has, been kind of dormant lately because I just haven't had the time. So now I'm actually outsourcing people to help me with that so that I can remain consistent. But make sure that you have a schedule and that you stick to that schedule and that you remain consistent with that schedule. So, another thing to note is to make sure that you have fun. Make sure that you have fun. People connect with you, they connect with your personality. Don't feel that because, okay, so yes, this is my business channel and I share tips about the things that I do in my business, but I don't have to be overly professional. You know, when have you ever seen me in like overly professional clothing? I may have worn a dress shirt here and there, but even with how I accessorize, even with my headscarves, with my earrings, like I'm still showing up as me. With how I wear my hair, I'm showing up as me. Whenever you see me laugh at like something corny that I may have said, something that I find funny, like I'm just showing up as me, and I'm likely to stumble over words a lot, and I laugh at that too. That's just me, and it's like I just keep it going because again, people want to connect with humans. People who have feelings, people who have emotions, people who aren't stiff, people who aren't by the book, people who just show up as themselves. And that is how you are able to build connections with people, making sure that you know who you're talking to, you have a clear message, you're reaching them on the right platforms at the right time, you're remaining consistent with your posts, and you're having fun with all of it. So, that is everything that I have for you guys tonight, and I want to make a point to keep these videos short so that it's not too much information and that it is not too overwhelming. And normally, if I had any questions, I would answer them at this time, but I didn't get any questions before the video. But if you do have any questions about anything that I discussed tonight, feel free to leave me a comment. You can also leave me a DM. And if you're someone who is interested on getting on this platform to share your business or to talk about your personal experiences, feel free to shoot me a DM to let me know a little bit about you, about your brand, your story, what you would like to talk about, and we can create a live centered around that. And one of the biggest things that I do want to stress that I did not mention with keeping your visibility consistent is building a community. When you have people who look like you, who are doing what you do, people who are encouraging you, it makes it much easier for you to show up. And I learned, like, just looking at a lot of people, it's like they're not doing a lot of extravagant things, but their message is so important. So it's like you don't have to have all these bells and whistles. Like, just get on here and show people you. And it takes having a community to keep you motivated and encouraged to do that. So I thank you guys for tuning in. And I absolutely like miss being on here because at first I was like, nah, I enjoy my time off, but I can feel like the energy coming back. So I do look forward to tuning in with you guys. Oh, there goes the sun again. I thought I had beat it, y'all. But I will see you guys again next week on at She Writes Masterpieces for Let It Go Wednesday. And I think I mentioned before that I wanted to talk about being overworked and underpaid, which is a very real thing, even in business. So I wanted to share that with you guys, share my experiences, see if you had any experiences that you wanted to share about it. So if you are interested in that, I will be doing that next Wednesday at 6 p.m. on at She Writes Masterpieces. And if you are interested in what I do, if you want to work with me, feel free to click the link in the bio, browse the website, send me a message in the contact us form. If you want to go ahead and book a one-on-one session with me, now is the perfect time because I am going to give my services an upgrade. They're going to be getting a makeover because I'm going to be making some changes to the brand. So this is the absolute last time that you will ever see prices that low. So make sure that you go and grab them. And the great thing about it, you can book ahead. So even if you're not ready to work with me in the next coming weeks, book it for next month. The price will be as it is now, and you won't be charged anything different because you've already paid for it. So make sure that you take advantage of that. And for all the people out there who are currently writing a book or thinking about writing a book, but you're not worried about how it's going to be financially, make sure that you get my ebook, How to Write a Book Without Breaking the Bank. And I will teach you how to plan, write, and publish your book without spending all your coins. So, again, I thank you guys for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Bye.